It's still your flag. Why are your heads covered?
You, planning on a long visit, mister?
That depends.
I want those hats off.
Sergeant? You're standing on private property, not some British parade ground.
Daniel, I've been hoping you'd turn up.
So have I.
Colonel Holland, isn't it?
Good morning. I wonder if you might spare me a moment in private.
Well, I can hear you pretty good from here.
Not very gracious, I must say. After all, I have traveled more than 100 miles just to see you, Mr. Boone.
I'm honored, Colonel. What about?
A matter of considerable importance to the Crown and your community. If at all possible, I want to avoid bloodshed. It's that serious. And that private, Mr. Boone.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone was a doer, what a dream comer, truer was he. Daniel Boone, Daniel Boone.
Make yourself comfortable, Mr. Boone, if you can. I have some excellent Madeira wine here. Would you care for some?
Oh, thank you.
Boone, as the leader of this community, your word is respected. That is why I personally chose to command this patrol, so that I might appeal to your good senses.
Well, exactly what kind of patrol is this, Colonel?
One of many. The Colonial Office has issued a directive ordering this entire territory be combed for troublemakers.
You mean like people who don't doff their caps to the Union Jack?
No, I do not. I am referring to the instigators of rebellion, enemies of the Crown. One of them is headed this direction. I must take him back to Salem for trial.
And you want my help?
I want this patrol action to be carried out peaceably and quickly. You could be of great assistance.
In helping you round up friends of mine?
Not at all. Just in the simple maintenance of order.
Do you mind telling me who this enemy of the Crown is?
David Hubbard, a young rabble-rousing seditionist. I'm sure you're acquainted with him.
Yes, Davy Hubbard's well liked by almost everybody in Boonesboro.
Some of your friends are a trifle hot-headed. I have word of a regrettable incident in Boston. British soldiers attacked in the performance of their duty. They were forced to take extreme action. A good many colonists were killed needlessly. I don't want that to happen here.
Nobody does.
Then help me keep your people quiet.
Well, they're nobody's people, Colonel. They're free men, and I expect they'll fight to prove it, if they have to.
Boone, at this very moment, there is a serious debate in Parliament as to whether these colonies are worth the life of a single Englishman. Neither of us knows how this debate will be resolved. But any fool can predict the outcome of a war between a few lunatics with flintlock rifles and the combined forces of the entire British Army. You're an intelligent man. Which side will you choose?
Well, I have no choice to make. Besides, I've seen some wondrous things done by a good man and a flintlock. Is there anything else, Colonel?
No, not at present.
there! Hello there! Ma? It's me! What's for supper? Pa?
Davy! Redcoats all over! Get away from here! Stay away!
I'll take this. And we don't need this. Name?
You know my name.
Don't give yourself airs. Put the prisoner under restraint. This here's a common warrant. It covers a list of troublemakers, and we know you're one of them. David Hubbard, you are under arrest for high treason and acts of sedition and conspiracy against the crown of His Majesty King George III.
I know how you feel, mate.
Chapin, button your lip. Prisoner, forward, march.
Davy! Davy! Oh, Dinah. Dinah, what are we going to do?
Don't worry. Paul will think of something.
Here's some more cider, gentlemen.
The thing to do is to stick together. I know this Colonel. He's a good soldier, and he's not stupid.
What are we supposed to do? Just stand by and watch them arrest half the territory?
What good is all this talk? They got my boy. They got Davy.
There ain't that many of them. Come on, let's go bust them out of there.
Now, hold on. An attack with redcoats in the fort right now wouldn't make any sense at all. Now, suppose we did free Davy. The matter wouldn't end there.
We got women and children and old folks to worry about. You want to see them get shot up?
You asking us to do nothing?
I'm asking you to use your heads. Now, the Colonel has got a prisoner that he can take to Salem. That's a week's march through country we know, and he doesn't. I can think of at least a dozen places along the trail where we can jump that patrol and free Davy.
Sure, but the Colonel wouldn't just give him up. He'd come back here for him.
Yeah, but this time he'd come back to a fort that we're in control of, manned by people who are expecting him. Now, that's an entirely different story, and I wouldn't wonder but what he wouldn't give up the whole matter.
You know, he's making sense.
Well, either way, we'd be going against him on our terms, and that's the only way to beat the redcoats.
Well, what do we do now?
Well, I'd say go home, get provision, get your best rifles, and stay there until the redcoats leave the fort.
He's talked you into it. You're playing mighty fast and loose with my boy's life, Dan.
Andrew, don't be a fool. Daniel's right.
Just how well do you and that colonel get along?
I know you're troubled, Andrew, so I'm just going to forget I heard that.
Has he made up everybody's mind? Has he?
You got any better ideas, Andrew?
No. But I will.
Oh, you're just working off steam. You can't bust Davy out of there by yourself, and you know it. Well, Daniel said provisions and best rifles, didn't he? Well, let's get them.
I'm going to be needing your help, child. We're going to have to do something for Davy.
What can we do for Davy?
I want you to go to the empty cabin near Willow Draw and wait for me.
The old Danford place?
But carefully, child. I want no one to see you. No one.
Pa. You and Davy. I mean, if you get to talk to him. Please don't get into one of those things again like you always do. Davy loves you, Pa. I know he's kind of wild about things. But deep down, you two are really no different.
The Danford place, child. Wait for me there.
Talk of Alex
There you are, Morgan. The last one.
Thank you, Sister Nurse.
And some Miltiades. But of all the world's brave heroes, there's none that can compare with the ta-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra to the finest Britishers. With ta-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra to the finest Britishers.
All right, closing time in 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to drink up.
Well, we've drunk to England, the King, the Colonel, each other, our blisters, what's left?
Blisters. That's nothing to what that poor Yank in there's in for.
You gone soft or something?
You wasn't in the house. What I mean to say is you got a jolly nice little family there. You don't seem like such a bad sort.
Now, what would you know about families?
Leave him be, Jack.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'd like being an orphan. Living the way you please, nobody to ask leave of. Huh? Am I right?
Oh, you're a very funny man, Jack. I hope you know that. And if you keep it up, I'll see it gets cut on your gravestone.
Well,
Well, then what?
have a go, Tom.
Just a minute, gentlemen. Not in my place, you don't.
I said to leave him be. It's a hard thing being an orphan, and he's done right well, considering.
Thanks, mate.
Come on, let's go home and get some sleep.
Just a minute. I'll take that mug.
Two more weeks to go this itch. And I'll be glad to see the end of it. And that's a fact.
Hello, love. Remember me?
You took your time waking up.
Yeah, you're the Yank sister, aren't you? Not his wife, I don't suppose.
Pa says if I want, I can gag you. So you better watch out.
What'd he say about water? I've got a terrible thirst somehow. Can't think why. Isn't there any water around here somewhere?
Pa?
Any bothering you, child?
He says he's thirsty.
Now, watch me, child. You have to give it to him very carefully.
Much obliged.
Let me tell you about the girl. When she was 9 years old, the Wolverine took out after her. Chased her more than a mile. Then she come across some high ground and some dead branches. She took one of them dead branches and beat that animal to jelly. That's when she was 9 years old, soldier. Just so there's no mistake on your part. She loves her brother. And she'd just as soon kill you as not.
What's stopping her, you?
For the time being.
Are you the one that cost me then?
Huh?
Fetch me this clout back of the ear.
Yes.
Well, what did you want to go and do that for?
I didn't want to. It's... You've got my boy.
What, me? I've got nothing to do with it. I do as I'm told.
So does she. And for the time being, she's been told to let you live a little while longer.
Here, you mind your dad now. A little longer?
You just better pray that my boy never sees the end of a rope. What's funny?
I don't know. I guess I'm weak from this bashing around. But the idea's such a funny one. You're holding me hostage?
That's right.
Then you might as well kiss both of us goodbye. Me and your boy. Old Colonel Olin would have paid to get me off his hands. Listen, mate. Why don't you get it over and done with now? They won't hand him back to you. Not for me or any hundred like. It's not the Army's way. Every soldier has to be ready to die from the day he takes the King's shilling. Here, don't you ever sell your pretty life that cheap, love.
You could be wrong.
Nobody hopes so more than me, mate.
I'm going to go back to our house. They're going to be searching it, and I want to be there when they do.
Yes, Pa.
I hate to be doing this to you, child, but you're the only one. Your mother's just torn to pieces.
Don't worry, Pa.
Be back as soon as I can.
You know, love, you're a brave one. But tell the truth, though. Wasn't you frightened just a little bit when that Wolverine chased you?
I'm not supposed to talk to you.
Why not?
I don't want to, anyway. And if it's any of your business, no, I wasn't scared of no Wolverine.
And you're not afraid now?
No.
Well, I am. This is like the worst part of a bad dream. When you don't think you're gonna wake up. Of course, I shouldn't think a giant killer like you would ever have bad dreams. Am I right? Where is this place, anyway?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Of course I would. That's why I asked, Dunderhead.
Don't you call me that. Nobody calls me that, only...
Only him? Davy? He's a nice young fella, too.
Well, they'll never find this place, not if they look for 100 years.
Well, I can't see him doing that. Hey, what's your name, love? Mine's Tom.
Dinah, now will you shut up? Don't you do nothing but talk? What is it?
Listen, Dinah. I know it's not part of the job, but do you think you might dip a cloth in that water bucket? Hold it against my head? Sure, old Dad's a strong one. I think he broke my head open. I'd do it for Davy if he asked me. Thank you, love.
Mr. Boone, may I say that you are a most unjudicious man. It pains me to think that I have several times mentioned you favorably in dispatches.
I reckon when you're ready to tell me what you're talking about, you will.
Early this morning, someone wrapped this round a pistol ball and threw it through the window. I will read it to you, although I have no doubt you are perfectly aware of its contents. Unless Davy Hubbard is safely returned to his people by midnight tonight, Private Tom Chapin of your army will be put to death. The spelling is atrocious.
Chapin?
Missing. Now, though I have gone out of my way to warn you, you seem fit to ignore me. Yes?
Daniel?
Where did you find him?
At home, sir, sleeping.
Did you search the house?
Yes, sir, 3 times. Not a sign.
Report to Sergeant Braddock.
If you would tell me what it is you're looking for, I might be able to help you.
I must say that your poise is enviable. I do not intend to waste words with you, either of you. I have decided not to take Davy Hubbard back to Salem.
I'm happy to hear that, sir.
No, I plan to comply with at least part of the request made in this note. Davy Hubbard will be with his people. Follow me, please.
Take that bow, Hopkins.
If that worthless Cockney is not delivered to me by dawn tomorrow, David Hubbard will be hanged by the neck until he is dead, in full sight of the entire settlement. That is all I have to say. You are both free to go.
Give the rope up there, Andrews. Lovely bit of yarn, that. Make sure it's firm.
Listen, if they hang me, it'll be no great loss to anybody. But let it serve as a warning to all of you. I saw them shot down in the streets of Boston like dogs. You want the same thing to happen here?
All right, let's clear out. This ain't a town meeting. Why don't you get some rest, mate?
In the end, you can't win, you know. You just can't.
Well, you're not doing such a grand job yourself, you know, lad. Now lie down and be quiet.
Same fella. No change in guard.
What else?
They're just about finished with that, you know what.
I'm trying to talk some common sense to you. I've known this colonel for a long time.
Can I get you something, Daniel? Andrew?
Andrew, he's not a bluffing kind of man.
Nothing to do with me. Or any of them, for that matter. I'm going home.
Sit down.
My wife and daughter are waiting for...
Your wife is at my cabin and you know it. Your daughter. You've got Dinah mixed up in this.
I've told you already, I don't know where that redcoat's got to.
Andrew, you're going about this thing all wrong. You can't settle the question of rebellion all by yourself.
Rebellion? I don't give a hoot about any rebellion. I told David when he went to Virginia he was chasing shadows, foolishness.
Andrew, if you kill that soldier...
I've got no soldier to kill. Can't you get that through your head? Of course, I'm not saying that whoever has got him shouldn't go on and cut his throat.
It's wrong.
Wrong? What if it were your son, Dan? What would you want to see happen?
I don't know. But as as long as you're asking the questions, what if that English boy was your son instead of Davy?
I got no time for this
Now,
chat.
do me a favor. Talk to Davy.
I've talked to Davy for 20-odd years. It seems like nothing I have ever said to him has ever sunk in. I'm done talking to Davy.
Are you sure you're just not trying to teach him a lesson by getting him hung? Just how much does he mean to you compared to admitting that you're just plain mistaken? Now think about it.
I want to talk to my son.
Wake up, lad. It's your father.
Please.
All right, sir. But just a few minutes.
Hello, Pa. We didn't get much of a chance to say hello.
Are you hurt?
Who, me? Well, I'm the healthiest boy who's ever been strung up in this whole territory. How are you feeling?
You haven't changed a bit.
No, sir.
When you went away the last time, I told you not to come back until you'd learned some sense. That's plain to see you haven't, so why did you come back?
To see my folks. To see my sister.
I don't believe you.
You haven't changed either.
I suppose you heard about the British soldier.
Yes, sir. But it won't help me. But it means that some people around here are waking up. Aren't you afraid that they're gonna think it was you? I heard the soldiers talking.
That's what they are saying.
Well, it's only natural. But we know better. Don't we, Pa?
You don't believe it, then?
Nope. Don't let it bother you.
You didn't think I was going to let you hang without...
What? Without getting even? Yes, sir. I'm afraid that's just what I think.
Why, you ungrateful little cub. If there wasn't a wall between us, I'd...
But there is one. There always has been, Pa. He's heading out.
Casey, follow him as far as the stream. Make sure which direction he takes. I'll be along after a while.
Yeah, we're wasting time.
Davy's got a lot less of it than that English boy. What do you got in mind, Daniel?
What I've got in mind... What I've got in mind is treason against the King of England. Because Davy Hubbard or no Davy Hubbard, the rebellion hadn't started yet.
What are you all staring at? Why don't you run on home and hide under your houses? That's what you're best at.
Steady on, lad. You'll only get somebody else hurt.
Just remember, if they hold Boonesboro, then Lexington is next. Then there'll be nothing between them and the Ohio River. Indians to the north and redcoats to the south. Is that clear enough? You're in the middle.
Mr. Hubbard. Although I find your analysis of the military situation in the Northwest illuminating, may I remind you of the lateness of the hour? It is a time when honest men are in bed. you see that gallows. Do you know what will happen if Chapin is not returned to me safely?
Yes, sir, I do. It means somebody killed him.
Good night.
Come on now, you heard the Colonel. Clear off. Don't know how lucky you are. I've got to stay up all night.
This way, boy.
Come on, prop him up.
Take the rear gate, Davy. Well, I think you better plan on staying in Virginia a good long while.
Daniel, I gotta talk to you.
Son, you picked the funniest times.
It was you who came back to see. Dan, why don't you come back to Virginia with me? They need you there.
Look, your war's in Virginia, mine's here, and I could fight a whole lot better if I didn't spend most of my time staging jailbreaks.
I'm sorry. What about that English boy? What's gonna happen to him?
He's next on the list.
Who do I have to thank for making him a hostage?
Son, stop fooling yourself. You know who.
I don't believe it.
Yes, you do, Davy. You know the differences between you two never amounted to a hill of peas.
But why? He never did anything like that before.
Well, he had to do something. He's a father. Write to him, Davy. Maybe he'll write you back. Good luck.
Thanks.
Daniel, you're starting to come around again. You figure you can follow Andrew's trail?
Yeah, I've hunted with him. He leaves tracks a blind man could follow.
How long I've been asleep?
Quite a while.
I miss anything, did I?
I don't know what you mean.
Doesn't matter.
If you like, I can,
Untie me?
give you a drink of water. So if you want some, speak up.
Don't suppose there's anything such as food around here, is there?
No. I wonder what's happened to Pa.
You don't like to think about it, do you? Ever seen it happen?
What?
A killing?
Once. A man took after his wife with an axe. Well, the man's son, he got it away from him, but he tried to get it back. The boy lost his temper.
I've seen my share. This is a ruddy, dangerous country.
What'd you make me think about that for?
I wanted to be sure you knew what your old dad got in mind for me. You fancy seeing me messed up by an axe?
You knew what would happen to my brother, and yet you helped take him.
That's not saying I wanted to. I can't make you people out. What do you want to start a rebellion for in the first place?
We got reasons.
Give me one, then.
My brother says the king, he's a tyrant.
Well, of course he is. That's what he's supposed to be, isn't he? Be a poor excuse for a king if he spent all his time letting other people tell him what to do. Still, I don't know what you lot have got to complain about. Take me for a start. I'm supposed to lay down my life for King George. That's just how they put it when I enlisted. Lay down your life if necessary. Now, that's what I call tyranny.
Well, why do you put up with it?
He's the king.
I guess that's what Davy meant.
How old are you?
20.
Oh, come on now. Tell me another one. You haven't had a good look at 17 yet. Still, you'll be an old woman before you're 30 and living in this part of the country. Pretty girl like you.
Stop it.
No, I don't suppose you've heard much of that kind of talk in your young life. I imagine when you want to get married out here, they look at your teeth and test you out pulling the plow. Was I right? Was I?
Well, there's some that do it like that. But not my folks, not me.
Do you dance in this part of the world, Dinah?
Yes, like everybody else.
But there's no such thing as a ballroom around here. I know what you do. You turn all the pigs and chickens out of the biggest barn you got. And you...
That's the truth, anyway.
Dinah. That's a Bible name. She was the head of a tribe, Dinah was. We got a lot of Bible readers at the home.
The home?
Orphan's home, I mean.
Oh.
Well, don't make it sound like that. Some of the most famous blokes in history was orphans.
You never knew your people?
Never. You're lucky in a way. Well, unlucky as well. Family can be a lot of trouble, I expect. Look at me. I was able to skid off on my own when I was younger than what you are.
Where'd you go?
Went to Paris. You know anything about Paris?
Not really.
Oh, a thundering wild place it is. People walking around in turbans like they do. You'd dance your legs off in Paris, you would. Here. You're not listening to me, are you?
I'm sorry, I thought I heard something.
Listen, Dinah. Before it's past talking about, cut me loose and let me go.
I can't. Don't ask me.
As a matter of fact, why don't you come with me? I'm supposed to go home in 2 weeks. Well, less than that now. You'd love England, Dinah. I come from Bournemouth. That's near the ocean. I bet you've never seen the ocean. Tell the truth now.
Please, Pa.
If your pa told you to jump off the roof, you'd stop and think first, wouldn't you? Use your brains, girl. That's what they was put there for.
If I did let you go, would you try to help my brother?
On my honor as a soldier.
Oh? You let Davy go?
They did not. Wait for me outside, Dinah.
Pa!
Do as I tell you. Soldier, I'll make this just as fast as I can.
Oh, no! Papa, please. Please listen to me.
Dinah, I've told you twice. Wait outside.
He hasn't any folks. He's an orphan. It isn't his fault about Davy. Why didn't you kidnap the colonel or the king or somebody?
Dinah, I never made myself out to be a charity case. And I didn't tell you all that to get off with my life. You go outside like he said.
Get outside.
Promise, Pa.
You wouldn't shoot me.
Yes, I would. In the leg.
That wouldn't stop me.
With this?
Dinah, don't!
Are you crazy?
Just try me, Pa.
Dinah, please don't.
Come on, child. Give it to me. Hand it to me, Dinah.
Andrew. Let me have that knife. Give it to me. There's no need for that pistol. son's halfway to Virginia, Andrew.
What are you talking about?
Well, a bunch of us got together. It's the best way to get results out here.
And Davy's safe?
He's safe, Andrew.
If you need a scrubbing up, you're a mess.
I know. You gonna cry again?
Yes, but not till later.
You know, if your dad wasn't standing right there, I'd kiss you good and proper.
How do you know I'd let you?
Well, that's a girl for you. She'd blow her brains out to save your life, but as soon as the sun comes up, she never heard of you.
No, I never said that.
Go on, Donnie, you're a natural flirt. I tell you what, I'll do this for a start. They do like that in Paris.
Daniel, you and I used to be friends.
Still are. Come on, son. As far as I go, do me a favor, will you? Forget my name.
I got you.
Stand where you are. It won't do, Boone. He's not good enough.
Well, he looks like a good soldier.
Quite beside the point. Boone, I said I would hate to ever have to put you under arrest. I meant it. But you have broken the law, and the penalty is the same for all.
Begging the Colonel's pardon.
You shall have ample time to beg the Colonel's pardon. I came here for a prisoner. I will have one. Perhaps the people of this region need a stronger example than most. The sight of you hanging in Salem may be sufficient. Chip in. Take his gun. Very impressive, ladies. But whether or not you're out of the way, I shall order this column forward in 10 seconds. Ladies, I advise you to move. Halt! Sergeant.
Sir?
At the first shot, you are to shoot the prisoner.
Understood, sir.
I ask you for the last time to let this column pass.
As soon as you release Boone, you can go any place that suits you.
Prepare to fire.
Step aside, Mrs. Boone. Larkin, help the lady.
Take aim.
And then what, Colonel? Another Boston massacre? And all the while Parliament's arguing about the last one. Looked mighty ugly on your record, too, won't it, Colonel?
Not that you'd be around to read it. There's a sight more of us where we come from.
If you do this, I shall have to come back in strength.
We'll be ready for you, Colonel.
No doubt. No doubt. Release the prisoner.
Excuse me. Come on, Don, I want to talk to you a minute.
Do you realize we just...
Don't give it a thought. I'd have let you in anyway.
Prepare to march.
You never said if you'd ride.
Didn't I? Well, I can't, you know. I mean, I don't know how. But I tell you what, I got a furlough coming.
Yes?
And, yes, well...
Taiping! Get into ranks!
Horrible, man, that. I'll do my best to get back here. I just hope it's not in this uniform. Had an idea your group would turn up.
Me too.
Taiping!